Hello everyone, I am ButteryButters here, bringing to you a Medieval 2 Total War guide to getting good governor traits. Note, I am playing 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer submod, but everything I'm going to tell you for getting good governor traits can also be applied directly to Medieval 2. Now, some of the things will be slightly iffy. For example, certain cultures can't get corrupt, for example. In 3rd Age Total War, that would be the Elves because they use the Greek flag, and in Medieval 2, anything that uses the Greek flag, their generals can't become corrupt, and anything that uses Byzantine has a chance of getting corrupt a lot better. So, it's not a be-all, end-all, but most of what I'm going to tell you, and that I'm going to show you here, can be directly applied to Medieval 2 Vanilla. So, we're going to load up a game that I'm not currently doing an LP on, probably my Linden series. Linden playthrough. I have a conned non-LP version, but that's just for practice. This Linden series is entirely for fun, and I'll be able to show you, first things and foremost, why you want good governors in your cities. Now, it's important to note that if you're here because you like Divide and Conquer, then you should also... Oh, looks like I'm besieging a place. Oh, I'm attacking Hindenwaith. That's great. I love that. Grey Flood Riders, those are going to be annoying. Any hoozle. Now, if you're playing 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer, and you're playing the most recent version, they're working on a hotfix that's going to be out soon that will make generals even better governors, because if you have a town hall, your general will automatically get free upkeep, which is good. Okay, now, I'm going to show you, I'm making tons of money from these settlements. And if I take my general out of here, I lose 1,000. Actually, almost exactly 1,000. How much? Yep, 999 I lose. From here, I lose about 900. Now, we can take a look at his traits, and let's see, what do we have? Noble Ruler, that helps, it gives him additional respect. Let's see. Understands trade, that's a good one. Active Builder, Ruler Expert, Superb Administrator, Cruelly Exacting Taxman, A Sense of Justice, Cultured, Feels Respected, are all very good. Those are all good governor traits. Now, I'm going to go to a city that I recently captured, like for example Bragost, and I'm going to cheat it, so that way it's got enough buildings so I can actually show you some stuff. I just need to find myself a family member that's currently in transit somewhere. For example, this guy. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move you to Bragost. Now, first of all, we're going to just get him there quickly. I'm going to just reload this once I'm done, so that way this guy won't be there. I don't cheat normally, but it's very useful when you're showing things. And I should have done this off screen. That just resets his movement. Okay, just having him in there with his basic traits. Dutifully obedient increases obedience, which is piety. You want your piety, your loyalty, and your chivalry to be as high as possible because they all increase how good your governing is. Okay, so now it's important to note that if you cheat, that's your thing. I'm not going to cheat. So, first of all, we're going to add enough population to Bragost to get it to a village, a town. That way you can actually see some more stuff. I can't believe I just forgot how to spell that. Slightly too much. Oh, I should probably type in Bragost. There we go. And it's important to note that if you cannot set the tax rate to high or very high without public order staying green, get your general the hell out of there. And now we're going to just process CQ at Bragost to finish the construction. There we are. It's a town now. I'm going to get back inside it. Really, why is the public order even worse? Cultural unrest, mostly. So, you normally want to prioritize grain exchanges, because grain exchanges are really important. If you do not have a grain exchange or your first tier economic building in a city, every time you end your turn in that city, regardless of whether or not you've moved or you have had a tax rate, you're going to get a bad trade trait, and that's very bad. I think it's like a 20% chance. So, the first thing you want to do is to build something to increase public order, whether that be a church, a culture building, a town hall, something of that nature. And the Hall of Song in this particular mod would increase the public order, so we're going to do that. And now, it's important that you keep tax rate above low, at the absolute least, when you're finishing a building. So we're just going to process the CQ there, and boom, Town Hall, which also decreases corruption. Did he get a culture trait? No, he did not. That's unfortunate, because a culture trait would have helped him out. But now, let's see, I can get tax rate too high, but still that would make the loyalty just content. We need them to be actually happy. See, right here, they're happy. You need them to be happy, otherwise you won't get as good governor traits. Another way you can increase your public order is by building a barracks, because that adds 10 public order from law. As you can see, he can get to high tax rate with 95% public order. That's still not good. So you'd want something else to improve public order, but unfortunately, that adds 100 building income? I did not know that. Culture increase you definitely want, but yeah, it seems like there's really not much else I could build here, so I'm going to instead show this guy going at Karas Oradselk. Oh, I did not mean to actually move a unit out of Karas Oradselk. I meant to move this guy to Karas Oradselk, so I'm going to cut away until that's done. Okay, my general is in Karas Oradselk, so we are going to add population to it. How much does it need? 1,000 again? Okay, let's do that. Now, you notice he can get the tax rate to high here without having to remotely worry. It's because of the culture. So you definitely want your generals in a place where your culture or religion is as good as possible. So in Medieval 2 Total War, you definitely want to preempt invasions into foreign, into your religion by sending your priests in there to convert them as much as possible. It's another thing to note in Vanilla Total War for Medieval 2, having a priest inside an army gives your general piety traits, which is incredibly important. Okay, so he completed that with the tax rate set to high. That's very important. Anytime you complete any building with your tax rate set to high or very high, you have a much greater chance of getting a good tax trait and getting a builder trait, both of which are very good. Builder traits decrease construction costs and decrease squalor, whereas the tax traits obviously increase your tax revenue. Now we're going to get a Hall of Song here. Boom. High tax rate. Did he get a culture trait? I think I might need to just refresh. No, he did not. That's unfortunate. But here's the great part. He can set the tax rate to very high with almost no consequence. Let's go ahead and get a barracks here. And boom, you need your public order to be at least 100 here. Because if you complete buildings with your general not having used any of his movements, and the public order is below 100, you have the chance to get harsh ruling traits, which is not something you want. So what do we have here? Did we get... No, we did not get anything, apparently. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So, here's the important part about getting governor traits. You want your general to not have any of his movement points used, so we're going to reset his character, and that will keep all of his movement points intact. You have the best chance of getting a governor trait associated with building a building if you have 100% of your movement and you have the tax rate set to very high. It vastly increases your chances of getting a good trait. Meanwhile, here's another thing to note. If you have not completed a building, make sure you use your movement. For example, if I had no buildings to build here, I couldn't afford any of the buildings, which it looks like I'm not actually going to be able to afford some of these, I would want to move him. So, why does he not have... There we go. Oh, it seems like his movement keeps shifting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly end this turn. Alright, the turn is over. I did not get attacked. Manually doing this. Boom. Okay. Oh, good. You gave me boats after the barracks event. That's great. Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot about these guys. We don't talk about these guys. Okay. So, he's got a very high tax rate going. Alright. So now that he's got 100% of his movement, we can actually do this. If I wasn't building anything, I'd want him to use his movement as much as possible. Because if you do not use his movement, he has a chance to get lazy, and if you have a lot of money, a higher chance of getting corrupt. In addition, if you have a vineyard, which would probably be a brothel in Medieval 2, or if you have a tavern or anything where women and booze flow freely, no matter how you end your turn, whether you use all your movement or not, or whether you have the tax rate low or high, you have the chance to get drunken and lewd traits. Now, this doesn't matter in Third Age Total War because the elves cannot get those traits, I believe. But other cultures can, and in Medieval 2, every culture can. So you have to be wary of where you build your spy recruitment and your assassin recruitment and all that stuff. Do not build it in settlements that you want to be governed for higher money. Do not do it. You will get bad traits. Okay, so farms will give you good farming traits if you complete the farm with 100% of your movement intact and the tax rate set to high. So that's what we're going to do. Communal farming. Oh, wait, forgot. You need to make sure to get your grain exchanges up and running. Boom. Okay, with any luck, that gave him a good trade trait, although the grain exchange rarely does. Nope, but he did get good with taxes because he'd finished a building with tax rate high. So let's go ahead and get rid of these. Now remember, you won't normally be able to cheat to do this. You'd have to wait till after the turn. Alright, communal farming. Let's set that up. Did he get a good farm trait? Yep, farming knowledge, +1 to farming output. You could get this with land clearance, so very unfortunate that I couldn't get him to get the first level of this on a land clearance, but that's fine. Artist studio, anything that would be, for example, that would be churches in Medieval 2 or mosques or whatever your religious building would happen to be. And he gets cultured, which is +1 to happiness, but normally that would give you a pious trait, which would increase your piety. Happiness is still important. I don't think vineyards would do anything, and neither would any of these. I think the leather workers, the ballistas, the thing that they would probably give you the most of would more than likely be armor retinues and stuff like that. So let's just queue up all these and let's just pretend that we suddenly had a massive windfall of money, and let's complete all of these right after one another. So, we ended the turn. There we go. And let's add a catapult maker in there for funsies. Now what does he have? Thorough Taxman because of all those buildings built with high tax rate. Active Builder, which lowers construction costs, which is also another trait that you would get from all that. Now, you're going to get most of your traits from large towns, so we're going to increase the population of Karis Ordslick by another 4,000, and then another 200. So that way you can see some more of the stuff. Damn it. Hang on one second, guys. I'm great at this. There we are. Now it's actually improved by 4,000. Oh, that's a little bit too much, but that's fine. They're now very unhappy because of squalor, as you can see. They also have some distance to the capital to deal with, but there we go. They're back up to happy. Hall of Music, again, for public order. And can almost get the tax rate to very high, so we build a barracks. Can't quite get it to very high, unfortunately. The art gallery just increases culture. Why is that? I guess the culture's not as good here as I thought. Alright, let's go ahead and build a market. You need to have the tax rate set to high or very high. I believe the chance of getting the market trait is the same. And let's see. Yep, I believe I saw it. Yep, under Strange Trade right there. That's a market trait. We're going to get the next level of farm. And did that do it? Rural Expert. Yes, +2 to farming output. Now we're going to get the art gallery. And did that get him very cultured? No, it did not, unfortunately. That is a shame. What about the Great Art Gallery? Did that do it? Very cultured. There we are. +1 to authority, +2 to happiness. Which means I could probably bump... No, I can't. Alright, so the inn would not do much, but I'm going to get it anyway. And a port, because that would increase trade here, right? Yep. And ports will give you the trade as well. So let's do that. Yep, now he has Trader, which is +20% to income, which is very good. Let's get a Merchant's Wharf. Did he get the next trade? Dutifully obedient? have no idea how he got that. And he didn't get the second level of building, which is unfortunate. What about with roads? I mean, that really increased the money, but that got him urban planner, which gives minus to squalor, which is only a good thing. Still can't get it to very high taxes, unfortunately, but you get the idea, basically. You want to end your turn with the building being built and the tax rate as high as possible. The higher the tax rate, the better the chance. And you want to make sure, now that he's not building anything, to use his movement so he doesn't get negative traits from any negative buildings in there. For example, the pubs and all that crap. And you definitely want to make sure to do it so he doesn't become lazy. Also, a trait to avoid in corruption, make sure your treasury is not at 50,000. If it's at 50,000, spend your money. I don't care how you do it, give it to someone. Spend it on buildings, build more troops. Do not let your money creep above 50,000 because unless you're the Greeks or the elves, you will get corruption from that. Your generals will become corrupt. You have to avoid that at all costs. Let's see. That's really all I can tell you about that. It's really hard in the early game because it requires a lot of micromanagement. Every single turn you have to do something like this. Make sure you're building something. For example, I should not have moved him there. He needs to set the tax rate to very high because he's completing the barracks. He's completing the barracks very high. He's completing the barracks very high. He's not doing anything. I must have missed the micromanagement somehow, so he's going to get a night stable. I should have someone up in here, shouldn't I? Yes, I do, but that's still a village, so he can't really do much of anything except get bad tax traits. Because I have to keep the tax rate here low. Oskelin, he can't do anything else because he's finished all of his buildings already. Karis Kaileron also finished all of its buildings already. Barketa, can't change the tax rate on that, so I would definitely not recommend putting a governor in a castle, because that's just a waste of potential right there. That's why he's not in the castle, that's why he's out in the field at this point. Also, I don't know why the Dunedain attacked me in this game. That was really weird. They attacked me and immediately sued for peace and broke my alliance with Bree. Which, on the plus side, free territory. Much easier to take than Indenwaith. Anyway, ignoring that. So, basically the gist of it is, on the turn the building is complete, leave your general in there with complete movement, tax rate as high as you can possibly go without public order dipping below 0, and you have at least a chance to get a good tax trait and a good building trait. If it's a culture building or religious building, you have the chance to get a pious trait. And if it's an economic building, you have a good chance to get an economic trait. If it's a farming building, you have a good chance to get a farming trait, as well as you should definitely do it mines because you have a very good chance of getting good mining traits by doing that. If you're not finishing a building or not doing anything with the building or not recruiting, take your general out and put him back in with as little movement as you could possibly get. Not only does this prevent him from becoming lazy, but it also gives him the chance to get energetic and healthy as well as fertile. You definitely want healthy, fertile, energetic generals because they can move everywhere, have tons of babies, and last forever in battle. And in bed. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Not building anything, move your generals so they're out of movement. Building something, leave them in. Highest tax rate possible, basically. And you want to avoid high taxes with low public order. You want to avoid low taxes to get to avoid the low tax traits. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And that's it for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Make sure to leave me a comment, guys. If you need any more tutorials, just let me know. I haven't done a tutorial in a while. I'm kind of rusty. So, see you guys later.